Hello students, welcome to this online lecture of computer science. In previous lecture, we have studied the features of the 8085 pin diagram and significance of each pin, then block diagram of 8085 microprocessor and its significance. So, in today's lecture, we are going to start with the interrupts. In interrupts, there are two subtypes, that is software interrupt and hardware interrupt. So we will see one by one, and further we are going to study the addressing modes in the 8085. There are basically 5 addressing modes: direct addressing modes, implicit addressing mode, register addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, and immediate addressing mode. So let's start with the interrupt. So what does interrupt mean? Whenever we execute a program at that time, sometimes we need a temporary halt and allows peripheral devices to access the microprocessor. So, the method of creating a temporary halt during program execution and allows peripheral devices to access the microprocessor is called as interrupt. Okay, so microprocessor is always connected to different input output, that is IO devices such as displays, printers, keyboards, etc. These are all the peripheral devices which we have already studied in the 11th standard. So these devices communicate with microprocessor. In microprocessor 8085, an interrupt is the input signal which stops the current execution and transfers to the basic specific routine known as interrupt service routine, that is ISR. An interrupt, it is also considered to be an emergency signal that may be serviced. When an interrupt signal is given to the microprocessor, it will suspend the normal sequence and it will give service to the device. After completing the service, again microprocessor will continue its main program. So basically what does interrupt is? Interrupt, it is a method of creating a halt in between the program for execution. So there are two types of interrupt. The first, it is the hardware interrupt, and the second, it is the software interrupt. So in digital computers, an interrupt is a response by the processor to an event that needs attention from the software. An interrupt condition alerts the processor and serves as a request for processor to interrupt the currently executing code when permitted. As I have already told, interrupt, it is used to halt in between the program for execution, so that the event can be processed in a timely manner. If the request is accepted, the processor responds by suspending its current activities, saving its state, and execution of function called as interrupt handler. Okay, now let's see what is software interrupt and hardware interrupt. So a hardware interrupt, it is a condition related to the state of hardware that may be signaled by an external hardware device. And the hardware interrupt can arrive asynchronously with respect to the processor clock and at any time during the instruction execution. Hardware interrupt signals are conditioned by synchronizing them to the processor clock and acted upon only at instruction execution boundaries. In many systems, each device is associated with a particular signal. This makes it possible to quickly determine which hardware device is requesting service and to expedite servicing of that device. The second type, it was the software interrupt. A software interrupt is requested by the processor itself upon executing particular instruction or when certain conditions are met. Every software interrupt signal is associated with a particular interrupt handler. A software interrupt may be intentionally caused by executing a special instruction which by design invokes an interrupt when executed. Such instructions function similarly to subroutine calls and are used for a variety of purposes such as requesting operating system services and interacting with device drivers. Software interrupt may also be unexpectedly triggered by program execution errors. These interrupts typically are called traps or exceptions. For example, a divide by zero exception will be thrown if the processor executes a divide instruction with divisor equal to 0. So, these were the two types of the interrupt in 8085, that is software and the hardware. So, basically hardware, it is an interrupt in condition which related to the state of hardware that may be signaled by an external device. So, external device gives the signal, and in software requested by the processor itself upon executing particular instruction or when certain conditions are met. So, what happens when microprocessor is interrupted? When the microprocessor receives an interrupt signal, it suspends the currently executing program and jumps to an interrupt service routine, that is ISR, to respond to the incoming interrupt. So whenever a program is running, at the time if the interrupt signal arrives, at that time the program stop its execution and return to the interrupt service routine first, and it jumps to the interrupt, that is ISR, and it suspends the currently executing program. So this is the work of the interrupt in the microprocessor. Each interrupt will most probably have its own ISR. When the interrupt signal arrives, the processor will break its routine, go to a different routine, that is ISR, interrupt service routine, complete the interrupt service routine and go back to the regular routine. Basically, what does it mean? That whenever the program is running and the interrupt signal arrives, at that time whatever the program was running, it will stop, it will suspend, and that program will go to the interrupt service routine. It will jump to that, and then it will complete the interrupt service routine, that it will take the halt, then it will again go to the regular routine, that is the regular program which was running. In order to execute an interrupt routine, the processor should be able to accept the interrupt, save the last content of the program counter, means whatever the instruction was running in the program, the processor should save that last instruction, last content of the program counter. It should accept the interrupt, it should know where to go in the program memory to execute the ISR, that is interrupt service routine. Go back to the saved PC location when finished. Now we will start with the next topic, that is addressing modes. Basically, there are 5 addressing modes: direct addressing mode, register addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, immediate addressing mode, and implicit addressing mode. An instruction is not recognized by microprocessor, but it understands only binary code, that is 10 code. Assembly level instruction is indirectly converted into binary code, that is known as a machine code. Instruction may be 1, 2 or 3 byte in length. The first byte shows the operation type to be performed, and second and third bytes of instruction indicates either the operand or address of the operand. Let's start with the first addressing mode, that is direct addressing mode. The direct addressing mode, the address of the operand is specified within the instruction itself. This means load accumulator with the content of memory location. You can see this example here. All instructions are 3 byte instruction. STA08B2. So ST means store. A, it is the content of the accumulator, and 0B2, it is the location. You can see the memory 08B1, 08B2, 08B3, 08B4. So we have to store the content or the instruction from the accumulator to that memory location. So here the memory location, it is 08B2. You can see the arrow from accumulator, it is showing to 08B2, means whatever the instruction it is there in the accumulator, it keeps to the memory at that location. This is called as direct addressing. It gives directly to that memory location. And the second addressing mode, it is the register addressing mode. In this mode, the register name is specified in the instruction. Address is not required for this type. In direct addressing mode, the memory address is required, but in register addressing mode, there is no need of the address. This register to register or accumulator to register transfer, these are single byte instruction. You can see your example, move A B. So move means move content. There is content in the B and we have to move that content of the B to the A. So this is the example of there. You can see the resistors B, C, D, E, H, L and accumulator is there. And the arrow is showing that the content of the B, it is moved towards the accumulator A. This is the example. The third addressing mode, it is that register indirect addressing. Register indirect instruction are always 1 byte instruction. Here register pair is specified for addressing 16-bit address of memory location. Register indirect instruction are always 1 byte instruction. Register pair is specified for addressing 16-bit address of memory location. For example, move AM. Move M for memory and A is to accumulator, that move the memory to the accumulator. But memory location is specifically by HL register pair. So address is HL. You can see here HL. That is the address location of the memory. It adds the content of memory whose address is stored in the HL pair to the accumulator. The fourth type, it is the immediate addressing mode. So when data, that is operand means data. So when data is directly transferred to register, then it is known as immediate addressing mode. So 1 or 2 byte instruction are used for this type of addressing. In this mode, data is specified within the instruction itself. Data is specified after immediate mnemonic. For example, MVIB 55H, that is move immediate 55, this value that is 55 to the B. And the next example is LXI, load resistor immediate. This indicates load resistor HL pair with the data 52C 5H. Here operand is, that is data is 55C5 is loaded with the HL resistor. In the above example, the data was, that is the operand was 55, means the data was 55 that we have to move in the location B. The next, it is the implicit addressing mode. So implicit addressing instruction are 1 byte instruction. Many instruction of logical group belong to this implicit addressing. For example, CMA means complement accumulator, RRC rotate accumulator right, STC CMC. The address of data is contained with the opcode itself and operand is absent, that is data is absent. So basically implicit addressing, it is nothing but the instruction are 1 byte instruction. Many instruction of logical group belong to this implicit addressing. So in today's lecture we have studied various addressing modes in 8085, that is direct addressing mode, register addressing mode, register indirect addressing mode, immediate addressing mode, implicit addressing mode. So these were the addressing modes we studied in 8085. And before that we have seen the interrupts and its two types, that is software interrupt and the hardware interrupt.